is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the info war. Feds deploy new national spy system of microphones capable of recording conversations. That was in 2013. Well, here's another little article. New street lights to have Homeland Security applications. That's 2011. We broke that. Oh, what's in Fox News? Newark Airport terminal lights tied to security system. And it turns out the lights themselves, the lights, have hidden cameras built into them. That's how small they are. These are going in not just in airports, but all over the country. I'm going to break those down. And now the police, when they pull you over, will commandeer your radio by remote control with one button and turn it on and talk to you in the car. Just to give you an idea what a technocracy is like, we're going to be breaking that down in great detail. Now, before I go any further, if you just joined us, I have opened the phones up for Obama supporters. People that think I'm a liar. People that think I'm wrong. People that think that he really wants to help us and that he's our true president, our dear leader, Kim Jong-un, I mean Barack Obama. And so we've got David, Frank, Eric, David, Michael, Sherry, and others. And I can normally get 20 phone calls lined up here, giving the number out. I only have 6 or 7 people calling in. Where is the overwhelming support for our dear leader? I'm sorry, that's not the words of Jamie Foxx, our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama. I played that earlier. So you need to call in and defend him. I mean, here I am. We don't screen your calls. Tell me why I'm wrong. Explain to me. Well, the Republicans are bad too. They're not the ones in charge running everything down right now. I mean, I know you bought into a bandwagon, you bought into a group. That's how you think you're a big winner, why you're successful. Republicans should really learn from this and not be the same with their leadership. Which Republicans have done this now with the real Tea Party. That's why the media is demonizing it, because the Republican Party could be taken over. And that's why you're seeing the demonization of Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, myself, and so many others. I want to hear from you. The toll-free number to join us, again, is 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-2539. But Democrats are so smart, you don't need me to say the number slow. I mean, that's all you talk about on your shows, and is how you're smart, and anybody that isn't a communist is dumb. So I don't need to give it out fast. Actually, I do, don't I? You need to give it out real slow? Here, let me give it out for you real slow. Here's the number. You ready? 877. Of course, under Common Core, 2 + 2 could equal 5, so I could just give out random numbers. Maybe that would work too, huh? No, to get the number right. So let me just give out a different number. 00159268420OQQ59. I mean, you don't even need numbers anymore. Piggy, Smiggy, Giggly, Wiggly. 22595QQQ squiggly mark. Just call that number and you'll be on the show. 2 + 2 = 5 as well.
A plus Alex.
So there you go. No, actually, you do actually have to dial the number right. It's 877. I know that's racist and small-minded, and I'm not racist. I don't have any intellectual argument, just racist. Well, I'm about to be destroyed by these powerful intellects that are calling in to defend Obamacare. And so, drum roll, please. Out of the gates is David from Louisiana. David, welcome. Thank you for calling.
You know, he's probably... Oh, hello, Alex.
Hi, go ahead. I missed the first thing you said. You're on the air.
Oh, okay. You say that Obama's bad and all that. I get some of his military policy, but this carbon thing, carbon dioxide isn't all too bad, but just because it gets cold here doesn't mean that the Earth is not warming. You've seen in Russia record high temperatures for very long times. We haven't had freezes here in, it usually
in at least a week, yeah. We had freezes in at least a week. You're right. It's terrible.
But before it'd be frozen most of the time, you look at the temperatures, they're still going
actually,
up.
sir, that's not what all the ice core samples show. NASA even admits the Earth's been cooling for 17 years now. The sun's the main driver. Look, how does shutting down our power plants here that put out nothing but carbon dioxide and water and shipping the jobs to China, they open 3 new plants a week, we close 3 a week on average. How does doing that save the Earth if it's all one atmosphere?
It's all in one atmosphere.
You don't even understand what I just said? They're shipping the plants to Mexico and China. Texas has shut down dozens of plants, and they've opened them in Mexico, totally dirty, shooting all the toxins into the air, the particula, the mercury, everything. No scrubbers. You know what a scrubber is on a coal power plant?
Maybe. Maybe.
Okay, well, if you go to China, it's just the power plant and a smokestack. You go here, there's all these big buildings built off. They send it all through the distillation. Nothing comes out but water and carbon dioxide. We get half our power from coal, or we did. Shutting that down is economic warfare. How is paying Al Gore a carbon tax? He's part of the company that globally gets the money. How does that save the earth, sir?
Well, I guess it doesn't.
You really are an Obama supporter, aren't you?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we need some better access to health care.
Let me ask you a question. When did you have the brain injury? And I'm not making fun of folks here. I'm serious. You sound like were you in a bad car wreck?
No, I'm not in a bad car.
How did you hurt your head? You've had brain surgery, haven't you? What's wrong with you?
No, I haven't had brain surgery. I've just been under a lot of fluoride. I've been looking this stuff up, but I don't see German psychologists. I don't see Russian psychologists. I saw John Holdren saying that it would be a nice idea to reduce population, but I didn't see him actually saying
okay, so everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. All right, I appreciate your call, man. I just don't know what to say anymore. Sherry in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Thank you. Listen, Obama goes along to get along, and the reason I wanted him to win...
That was a little disrespectful. You address him like Jamie Foxx addresses him. Go ahead.
I don't know how that is.
You know how he says it.
I'm not real political, Alex.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv. We are talking to those that have chosen Obama. And I always find it's like some fascination. Like, I think he's secretly trying to help me. And that's why they put him in there, is because he's more effective in making you think he's being reasonable while he slits your collective throat. But let's go to Sherry in Texas. Sherry, you've got the floor. Tell me about the man known as Cupcake Sweetie Pie Obama.
Well, I don't think he's... I don't think he wants to... He's slimy or mean. I think he just was willing to go along with those who are really running the show.
Well, obviously, he's a puppet. We're talking about the...
Yes.
Let me tell you, how attracted are you right now to Obama? How much do you like Obama? What's going on right now?
Well, what's going on right now is that the people who are really in power, the oligarchies, okay, that's a good word for them, I guess. They run the show. They're the corporations. They want to lead the people in the direction that they want them to go, which means they want them to vote for someone like Romney or Bush.
No, they gave more money to Romney.
They want.
They want whoever's the most effective BSer. Look, the establishment, the media, the establishment owns the big media, the dinosaur media. They want Obama. They'd let him get away with stuff 50 times what Nixon did because he's a darling cupcake.
No, I don't think so. I think the insurance.
I think you have a fetish for Obama. You've had it since he first ran. You won't admit you've been conned. Admit right now you like Obama.
All I know is that the insurers were in the business of denying claims.
What would you do if Obama wanted to date you?
Pardon me?
If Obama wanted to take you out on a date, what would you do?
Oh, come on. I'm not going to let you lead me in that direction now, Alex.
I can hear your
silly.
voice right now.
He's not. He's the only one. The people wanted him. They tried to keep him out.
You want him?
Look what Jeb Bush did. He tried to get the whole state.
Hey, just because Jeb Bush is bad doesn't make Obama good. Don't you understand that?
Obama is keeping us out of war. Do you know how weary we are of war after these last 8 years?
And only our loving leader could expand them.
He just put his foot down on that issue. And he didn't write Obamacare. They just let some of his
What is your nickname for him? What is your nickname for Obama?
My nickname for Obama? Someone who wouldn't lead us into war.
Is Sweetie Cake? Let me ask you this question. No, I get it. I understand. Like Bush was so bad, and I even thought Bush was so bad, I was kind of neutral on Obama and McCain, because McCain's so bad, that I thought maybe they were going to try to have reconciliation because of the country's on the edge of rebellion. Instead, they brought him in and just, Obama is one of the few things I was wrong about. Because I thought he was bad, and I thought it was going to be bad. But all these people that I respect even more now said, no, he's going to be real bad and you're wrong. I've got to apologize. I am rarely wrong about big issues, and talk shows aren't supposed to say they've been wrong. I have underestimated the level of evil because he's got this spiritual shield of fraud around him. But once you get around that, my dear, believe me, he's the worst thing we've ever been hit by. And he's a closer, like, in the ninth inning in baseball. They're trying to close things right now, and he's real bad. He's real bad.
Where did the Patriot Act come from, Alex? It didn't come on Obama.
It was bipartisan, and Obama expanded it.
Well,
the NDAA makes the Patriot Act look like a gift of liberty.
We need to identify the true enemy to solve the problems, and Obama's not the true enemy. He is a pawn, like you said yourself.
No, he's a luscious cupcake.
Enemy. He is just trying to keep us out of war.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.
So both the True Squad video and the video of the TV ad that the congressman is threatening to have the TV station shut down if they run are up on Infowars.com as the top story, just to show the open, naked tyranny that we're dealing with. Also, the Southern Poverty Law Center, a.k.a. the White House Free Speech Demonization Army, says more than half of white Americans are anti-black. See, this is the Democratic Party, folks, that was the Ku Klux Klan party until the Republicans passed the Civil Rights Act and a bunch of other stuff under Eisenhower. They looked at the demographics. This is on record. They had Democratic Party conferences, and literally they had all these congressmen that were Grand Dragons said, I'm resigning from the Klan. I now love black people. And folks bought it, and they run everything now. And, I mean, that's basically how. And so now it's race politics. Did you know they don't want to turn their guns in because they're racist? You know, these people don't want Obamacare because they don't like black people. No, we don't like Obamacare. This is a giant screw job. And that's now come out. Also, Ambassador Rice warns Moscow not to intervene in Ukraine. We're going to be breaking that down. Also, we've got some articles dealing with the police state control grid that we're going to be breaking down coming up at the bottom of the hour. But first, the rare treat. We are talking to Obama supporters, people that disagree with me, but they need to quantify why they disagree. They need to just make their point, tell me why Obama's good, Stockholm Syndrome, oh, it could be worse, oh, he cares about me. Doesn't matter, he lies systematically more than anybody I've ever seen. He's worse than Nixon, worse than Clinton rolled together, times 10. I mean, and folks, that's conservative. When you actually study policy and what's really going on, it is a wall of fraud, deceit, raising taxes on poor people, screwing them on their payroll taxes, 7 taxes in Obamacare on poor people, 5 more on rich people. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, if I wanted to shut our economy down, Obamacare is the way to do it. But, you know, I just do this full time and actually know what I'm talking about, though. I'm sure it's going to be a great deal for everybody. Let's go to who's up next but holding the longest. Ted in Tennessee, come on down. Tell me how I'm wrong. Go ahead.
All right, Alex, are you really ready for this?
Come on, man. Come on, talk or I'm going to cut you off.
Okay. Now, Obamacare, you got to look at it as very simple. There's 310 million people that don't get a vote in anything. Those are the people that have a health insurance policy that's provided by their employer. You have another 26 to 40 million people who don't get a vote in anything. Those are the people that are between...
Did you say 315 million people have health care provided by their employer?
Pardon?
There aren't 315... You say
there are 310 million people that have health insurance provided by their employer.
No, they're not.
They do not get a vote in...
There's 315 million people in the whole country. There's about 100 million...
No, there's 300...
Put him on hold. I can't listen to this. These people are so dumb. Listen. There's about 110 million people that have health care provided by their employer, and they pay for it. It isn't free. There's 315 million people in the country, counting 25 million that are illegal aliens. That's the census. Go back to him. I'm not trying to be mean. Go ahead and make your point.
Okay, there's 310 million people that have health insurance provided by their employer.
No, there's not. 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 98% of the American people are not covered by their employers with health insurance. That is BS, man. There's 35 million uninsured in the country.
Between 1 and 3% that cannot be accounted for. Those are between 3 and 9 million people, which has been expanded to 15. They cut it in half to 7.5 million. That's what they want to put on the Affordable Health Care Act. Are we ready to talk about this thing clearly?
Sir, do you understand that insurance companies wrote the plan, the big ones, to shut down their competition and jack up prices?
You have a ticket that says you're going to win at a 30 to 1 odds.
And
then you go and buy that horse care ticket. But if everybody in the stands votes for or takes that same bet, that bet's going to go down to 1 for 1.
You're totally helpless. Hey, sir, the prices are exploding. The death panels are there. They're kicking people off with pre-existing conditions. People are losing their doctors. Did Obama promise that none of that would happen?
Who cares?
Let him go. Let him go. See, I don't do this a lot because it's painful, and I actually don't like hearing people like this. It makes me very upset. Do you hear him? He doesn't care. He's bought into this. He thinks there's 310 million people who have health care provided by their employers. It's about 100 million. We just pulled it up on screen. My memory was correct. My dad's in healthcare management. Man, I just have so much trouble with these people. They're so helpless. Do you hear them? Do you hear him? He said, I don't want to be mean to him, Ted. Ted, they're kicking people off their insurance. They're getting rid of people with pre-existing conditions. They're jacking the prices up. The big banks that own the insurance companies wrote this to screw everybody. The Supreme Court ruled it's a private tax paid to private corporations. Come on, Tim. Ted, or whatever your name is. Kathy in Montana, you're on the air.
Hi, before I tell you why I think you're wrong about Obama and health care, I'd like to say you're one of my favorite shows other than Coast to Coast.
Well, thank you. Thanks. I like going on Coast to Coast.
And I agree with you on the whole big picture, and I think you got it right. But what makes, and let's just call whoever the oligarchy, totalitarianism, the far end of both sides are one and the same. This has been going on since 1913. Or let's just call him Satan. And who has more power than Satan, the only one? God. And what makes you think that God didn't put Obama in power at this time and space of our world? Because, and by the way, it isn't World War I, World War II, World War III. World War I has not ended yet. There's just been lulls. And as far as health care goes, I was a nurse, and let me tell you what I saw due to capitalism in health care and people killed. And
it's already really screwed up ever since government got involved.
You know what? And the oldest trick in the book in The Art of War is divide and conquer. And all the people that are, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, 90% of the American people are good. Why doesn't everyone just stand together and tell Satan to go to hell?
I agree with you. And listen, you're right about the World War I thing, all of it. My issue is...
God didn't put him in power. The only thing I think is wrong with Obama is he must be nuts, because I wouldn't take that job. And I hope he has.
Well, he's totally compromised. They've got a lot of, but exactly. It's not Obama the person. It's Obama the phenomenon. But if you look at this, again, the globalists are running it. So if the mainstream media is promoting gun control, you know it's bad. If they're promoting Obamacare, you know it's bad. If they're promoting open borders, you know it's bad. And then all the numbers show why it's bad. My only issue is Mitt Romney helped write Obamacare. I'm here to warn people. You keep telling me to shut up. This isn't a game.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
You can say what you want. I'm nobody special. I'm just doing the best job I can. And I'm humbled by it, but we are the front lines. We are it. There's no secret room out there, folks, of people fighting for this republic, promoting the Bill of Rights and Constitution. This radio show, the people we promote, what we cover here, we're it. You're it. History's happening right now. And I get so frustrated knowing that Obamacare is meant to bankrupt our economy, make people dependent on government, shut down small businesses that aren't exempt. All the big corporations and banks, they're all exempt. The families aren't exempt. That's the ultimate form of discrimination, to have all these poor people and regular folks not exempt and all these big corporations exempt. That's in the news. People call in and defend Obamacare to me and tell me how I just don't get it. Just because George Bush was bad on many fronts doesn't mean Obama's good. Just because Obama's bad when some Republican comes in doesn't mean they're going to be good. People have to get informed about the topics and the real issues. We've got any future here. All right, I want to go through your calls fast. Frank in North Carolina, thanks for calling. You're on the air.
Yes, Alex, thanks for taking my call. I disagree with you on Obama, and I disagree with the previous callers, too. Obama displays what I think a number of people see as classic narcissistic, sociopathic characteristics. Anybody that is seeing him as some type of savior, someone that's looking out for us, is seeing what they want to see, probably based on some form of white guilt, racism, some type of racism on their own part, whatever. Or they just want to see the world through rose-colored glasses. But I disagree with you. I think you've done, I've been listening to you for 9 years. I think you did a really good job of exposing Obama long before he ever became president.
No, I knew who was running him. I knew he was going to be bad, but I thought it would just be the next step. It's like a major offensive under Obama is my point.
Well, it was a perfect choice to divide the country and make it all about race and everything. But I do disagree with you. I'm very skeptical on the promotion of Ted Cruz, but simply for the fact, if it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck. His wife is, as you know, former CFR. He is
and Goldman Sachs, but
Goldman Sachs. I'm sorry, I don't buy that just by some miraculous coincidence, the guy who's going to save us, Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, he's going to rise up, be the leader of the Tea Party, whatever, and his wife just happens to be that individual. I just find that's just too coincidental to me.
You know, I hear you. I've met Ted Cruz once. We've interviewed him before when he was running. And I dislike David Dewhurst so much here in Texas, who's running for office again right now, that I had to support Ted Cruz and got a lot of heat for it. All he's done in his votes, pro-gun, anti-Obamacare, is just stellar. Anybody can do a 28-hour filibuster and be eloquent. I mean, I just admire. He said they're a den of vipers. He said my wife was a vice president at Goldman Sachs. That's where successful people are. People change their minds. People change. The tilt is towards libertarian. There is a tide in the affairs of men when taken at the flood leads on to fortune, as it was written in the play Julius Caesar by, of course, one of the greatest playwrights ever. And so my whole issue is I go off fruits. The more I've lived, the more I realize that people can change. People can get better, they can get worse, but that I judge a tree by its fruits. And I'm telling you, evil people like Hillary Clinton or evil people like John McCain cannot do anything good and can never tell the truth, and everything they do is bad. And I was very suspicious of Ted Cruz, and now a couple years into it, I mean, I'm nothing but impressed. And That's all I can say about Ted Cruz, is that he keeps delivering. The minute he starts to really play politics and stuff, is the minute I'll go out against him. You know, it's kind of like Rand Paul, who I've known for 18 years. I know Rand Paul good. You know, when he's come to Austin, hung out with him, you name it. Rand Paul came out last year and said, yeah, I'm for amnesty if it's reasonable and follows the law. And everybody went, oh, he's sold out. No, I mean, if these people were checked and were legal and vetted and weren't felons and did the deal, sure, legalize some of them. But he did that so that he could then, when they didn't bring forward a reasonable plan from a position of strength and being reasonable, he could then say, I'm not going to vote for this. So we'll see what happens with Ted Cruz. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with anything that he said. I just think it's an elaborate setup. I think when we need him the most, I think he's going to stab us in the back. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Wolfgang Halbach. He is a 67-year-old man. He's a former Florida state trooper. He is an educator. He's ex-military. He is retired now, and he is getting an inordinate amount of visits from law enforcement trying to intimidate him. He's looking into Sandy Hook, and he is the guy, I think.
Yeah, by the way, guys, I saw our article about him being harassed last week, and I told them I want Wolfgang Talbot on immediately. So Wolfgang, showtips at Infowars.com. Yeah, he's a former state police. They're really scared of him. Sandy Hook is staged. We don't know exactly how it's staged. We just know it's got all the earmarks of a staged event, actors. Doesn't mean there wasn't a real shooting. Just it was definitely scripted. We have evidence of that with Bloomberg, too, in an email saying, get ready to launch our offensive in 2 days. And then it all happened. You know, get the PR thing ready.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.